Hey guys, it's K420 and I am back. I wish I was back a little sooner, but I'm here and I'm here with a video that I had to put together real quick. I'm going to be releasing one later on tonight on the measles outbreak. Please stop back to my channel and check that out because it's some information you are really going to want to know. And I'm not talking about go vaccinate your kids, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about some things you need to see. So, before I get off the subject, some serious stuff happened yesterday, and I want to let my audience know about it because I think it's very important. If you don't know what WikiLeaks is, Google it. They have it's a place where whistleblowers and truth tellers are allowed to leak documents and things to basically call account to their government and whatnot to show the corruption. It exposed the war crimes that were taking place in Iraq during our war with Iraq. They're just basically 10 years worth of 100% never had to retract anything journalism, and he 100% accurate. He's never been quite, said no one's ever questioned anything he's put out because it's all been their own, 100% real documents. Julian Assange has been kept in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for the last 7 years out of fear that if he steps out of that embassy, he would be arrested for bail jumping by the UK and then turned over to the United States for releasing those war crime, the Iraqi war logs and whatnot with former Marine Bradley Manning, now known as Chelsea Manning. So let's take a look at what's going on. This is all happening real quickly. Okay, about April 11th, Julian Assange was dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy after 7 years of having asylum there. Basically, the United States paid the Ecuadorian president with a $4 billion IMF loan in order to do what he knew, what no other government has been able. They haven't even tried to do because they knew if they arrested Assange, they would have to arrest the, New York Times and Washington Post and every other paper that released his leaks. And because he's just a publisher, he's not the person who stole the information. Just like if you a whistleblower gives something to the New York Times, which they have done. The Panama Papers, all released through the New York Times, all stolen documents. No one went on trial for that. The reason that Julian Assange is being dragged through all this is because Julian Assange knows who the source that stole Hillary Clinton's emails was, and it is the cause for everything that could exonerate the president 100%. And I do believe that the Trump administration is putting pressure on Assange in this way in order to get him to cough up his source. Let's take a look. Yesterday, real quickly, out of the blue, in the middle of some very important hearings that was going on in the United States, where the news was taken up with that, this was quietly reported.
What has occurred in this moment of terrible injustice.
Maximum volume.
I hope will be more than just about me and this situation, because the reality is detention and extradition without charge has become a feature of the European Union.
After almost 7 years, a heavily bearded Julian Assange was removed from the Ecuadorian embassy in London on behalf of the US authorities. The WikiLeaks founder is now in police custody and will face justice in the UK. But what happens next is still uncertain. How did he end up here? Let's go back to the very beginning. Julian Assange is an Australian computer programmer, most well known for being the founder and director of WikiLeaks, an international nonprofit organization that publishes secret information, news leaks, and classified media to the public.
dramatic new tone in the case of the world's top whistleblower.
WikiLeaks.
Você vai barrar Montreal, WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
Le fondateur de WikiLeaks.
The whistleblowing website WikiLeaks has begun publishing what it says are 5.5 million emails obtained from the servers of Stratford.
The most notorious of these were those leaked by former Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning. The US government wasn't too happy about this and launched a criminal investigation into WikiLeaks and Assange, asking allied nations for help. In August 2010, Swedish police questioned Assange about 2 separate allegations of rape and molestation. He denied the allegations, saying the claims were without basis. 3 months later, Sweden issues an international arrest warrant for Assange on suspicion of rape, sexual molestation, and unlawful coercion. Assange claimed they were part of a plot to extradite him from Sweden to the US to face charges over his role in publishing secret American documents. In December 2010, Assange surrendered to the UK police and was arrested in London for the first time, but he was released on bail within 10 days. The following year, he lost his appeal against extradition to Sweden to face the rape allegations. In June 2012, after breaching his bail conditions, Assange entered the Ecuadorian embassy in London. The country granted political asylum to him, saying there were fears his human rights might be violated if he was extradited.
The United States must renounce its witch hunt against WikiLeaks. The United States must pledge before the world that it will not pursue journalists for shining a light on the secret crimes of the powerful.
By 2015, Sweden's investigations into alleged molestation are dropped due to time restrictions, with the investigation into allegations of rape dropped 2 years later. But still, Assange remained in the embassy, with the UK upholding his arrest warrant for skipping bail. And there he had remained for almost 7 years, 2,487 days in total, until April 11th, when Ecuador revokes his political asylum and British police enter the embassy to arrest him for failing to surrender to the court over the warrant issued back in 2012. The Ecuadorian president said the country had reached its limit on the behavior of Mr. Assange, after he intervened in the internal affairs of other states.
Hoy anuncio que la conducta irrespetuosa y agresiva del señor Julian Assange, las declaraciones descorteses y amenazantes de su organización aliada en contra del Ecuador y, sobre todo, la transgresión de los convenios internacionales han llevado la situación a un punto en que el asilo del señor Assange es insostenible e inviable.
So what's next for Julian Assange? First, he now faces US federal conspiracy charges related to one of the largest ever leaks of government secrets. Then, the UK will decide whether to extradite Assange to the United States. If that happens, he faces up to 5 years in US prison if convicted on the charges of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion. Will this bring an extraordinary 7-year diplomatic stalemate to an end?
The road is far from over. The war, the proper war, is just commencing.
All right, so that up until yesterday, that was pretty much where everybody had been. But like I said, quietly while the hearings were taking place, hang on 1 second. Quietly while the hearings were taking place, a British judge, hang on, sentenced Julian to 50 weeks. Dude, sorry guys, I had it up. I just accidentally clicked on it. So here we go. So this British judge sentenced Julian Assange to 50 weeks in prison. And if you watch my video on Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire pedophile, Julian Assange, this hero, this man who alerted us to war crimes and has been able to be an outlet for whistleblowers and truth tellers everywhere, is going to serve more jail time for jumping bail than Jeffrey Epstein did for raping hundreds of minor women, young ladies. And I just wanted to make that point. Julian Assange, when he was sentenced yesterday, was given twice the average. Basically, it was 2 months shy of the maximum sentence, and it's twice as much time as the average bail jumping sentence in the UK. And to just give you an example, the speedboat killer who failed to appear for his sentencing was only given 6 months for that bail jumping incident. So that should tell you that they consider this man a danger and whatnot, because he's dangerous to their government. He's not dangerous to us. He's dangerous to them. Real quick. This is what's up next for Julian. He is now going to, while he's serving his time in the UK prison, he is now, as of today will be his first time in court for to fight his extradition to the US. Because he's already refused it. And yesterday during his sentencing, they submitted an entire briefing as to why it would be dangerous to extradite Julian to the United States. I don't know why all these pictures aren't loading, but either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to this one right now. Where is there we go. Hit it. There it is. There's I want to read his court papers real quick. I had him up. She's gonna open that door. Of course you are. Here, where is it? Because I clicked on it when it was in here yesterday. I had it all up for you. Oh, yep, I know it. Okay. If you want any of like the updated information, here we go. This is where it is. And this is where I found the submission that he made to the courts as to why sending him to the United States would be basically he could be tortured. There's a number of things that they could do to get the information that they want from him. All right. Come on. It's one of these ones right there that isn't filling in yet. I think it's this one right here. I need the link. I gotta click on the link. Yeah. Reset. And no, that's his. This is the U.S.'s case against him, right? And there's Ecuador. See, there's a lot of cases going on because Julian is suing Ecuador for WikiLeaks is suing Ecuador for espionage against him. Here it is, right here. Julian Assange mitigation. You just go to the WikiLeaks page, click on it, interested, or if you're a content creator and you're interested in knowing what exactly was submitted to the UK court as evidence to why he should not be extradited. It's right here. There we go. All right. So it basically just talks about the Southwark Crown Court, Regina versus Julian Paul Assange. Let's see. Talks about defendant enter. Okay, the reason for doing so related to his publicly expressed fear that he would, if he surrendered to the USA by Sweden and be subjected to treatment there, including persecution and indefinite solitary confinement, relating to his involvement in the WikiLeaks publication of sensitive U.S. military and diplomatic materials, such as the UN Rapporteur on Torture had concluded happened to Chelsea Manning. And if you don't know, Chelsea Manning is currently locked up, even though she was given a pardon by Barack Obama. She is back in jail because she refused to participate in a secret grand jury against Julian Assange regarding this case. And there's just a whole bunch of information here that different humanitarian organizations have submitted, saying that based on things that the United States has done to other political prisoners, that it's not safe for him to be extradited to the United States. All right. I just wanted to get that out ASAP. I hope everybody has a good day. I got stuff to do, and I will put that other video out tonight. Have a good day.